Hello, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Aubrey. I am doing well. How are you?
Well, I accidentally turned my tattoo purple. So you guys can see it's purple if you're looking on YouTube. It was this beautiful brown henna, but it was
But that's a
fading.
great accident. I mean, I love the
agree.
purple,
It's a
Aubrey.
happy accident. You remember Bob
That's
Ross?
that's
would be
what I
like,
was thinking.
He'd mess up a tree and be
Happy
like, happy accident. That's
Yes!
my tattoo. It's a happy accident. I like the purple.
Exactly.
I think it's fun.
I do too. I do too. But do have a question for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you ever go to leave your house and then remember or realize that you forgot something, like maybe car keys or wallet, purse, phone, whatever it may be?
Constantly. Yesterday, I went to leave and my car wouldn't start. I just realized I didn't have the keys in the car because now it's a push start. So if my keys are in my purse, it'll just start. But I was like, well, I just got to go back inside and get the keys. That happens pretty much constantly. What about you?
Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Especially with kids, like little kids. Then someone is asking, oh, I needed a snack. And you realize, oh, I didn't bring the suntan lotion. I didn't bring this. I didn't bring that. I forgot
In fact,
all of my stuff.
The reason my henna was fading is because I kept forgetting to bring a long sleeve shirt and I was going to be outside playing volleyball or pickleball or something. And if I could wear a long sleeve shirt, it would be fine because it's not supposed to be in direct sunlight. But then when I went to leave, I didn't have the long sleeve. And so it made my henna fade really fast. Sad.
Oh,
But I got tattoo markers. I thought they were black. They were purple. But you know what?
happy accident.
Happy accident.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. We say this a lot. I went to leave, or I always go to leave, and this happens. We got a great question on YouTube about this.
And this question comes to us from Sophia, who we absolutely love, sends us amazing questions. Thank you, Sophia. Aubrey, would you read the question for us?
Absolutely. And this might have actually been emailed in. I didn't realize it was Sophia. Hello, Sophia. Shout out and thank you for all of your amazing questions. She said, hi, Lindsay, Michelle, and Aubrey. I was listening to your episode, Don't Let English Vocabulary Break Down on You, and I had a quick question about one part. Aubrey said, we went to leave and it wouldn't start. This is the same thing. I went to leave and my car wouldn't start. I'm a little confused about went to leave. Does it basically mean we were about to leave? Is there any difference between those two? Thanks so much. I love the show and learn a lot from you guys. Best, Sophia. Always amazing questions. I love this when you guys hear one thing in an episode. You're like, why did they say it that way? That makes for great follow-up questions, follow-up episodes.
Yeah, send us your question. That's a great way to do it. You just listen to us and you think, wait a second, I thought it was said this way. That's great.
Yes. And you can send those to support@allearsenglish.com or comment them in your rating, your review. Also YouTube, on our YouTube channel All Ears English. You can comment on any video, a question that we could cover on the podcast.
Yep. And as always, guys, hit the follow button wherever you're listening to All Ears English so you never miss anything from us.
So to answer Sophia's question, we went to leave is very similar to we were about to leave. They both describe the same time in a story when you're about to leave somewhere, and they can often be used interchangeably.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, Aubrey, when could we use these phrases?
So telling a personal story, you're showing the sequence of events. You're in the process of leaving when something unexpected happens. You're putting the audience in your shoes and helping them experience it with you. But they are a little bit different. So let's first share about we went to leave. How is this different, Michelle?
Yeah, so we went to leave focuses more on the attempt to leave. Okay, so we were trying to leave, but it was stopped by something. It also sounds slightly more casual or conversation, and a little bit like
conversational. Totally.
Conversational, yeah.
Yes.
And it sounds more like a story is unfolding. So like it's a little more engaging. It might pique someone's curiosity a little more.
Yes, this makes you a better storyteller, right? You are pulling the listener in. It's more engaging. I do this a lot. I'll switch to present tense and I'll use a phrase like this. Both of those are strategies for making a story more interesting, for making the listener feel like they were there with you.
Yeah. So, for example, Aubrey, it sounds like this has happened to you.
Yes.
We went to leave and the car wouldn't start. Uh-oh. That's
yes,
not good.
and that might be because you forgot the keys. It might be because the battery died, right? But we went to
Right.
leave
Oh, no.
and we were stopped. We were prevented in our attempt to leave by something.
Yes, and that's never, never good. Or I went to leave, then I realized I had no idea where I was going. Yeah, that
I do that all the time. I'll
Yeah.
start driving and I forget to put the address in the GPS, and I'm
Right.
driving and I can't do it while I'm driving. So then at a stoplight, because in Arizona it's illegal to have your phone in your hand at all while you're driving, even stopped at a stoplight. So I'm like watching to make sure a cop doesn't pull up next to me while I'm trying to put the
Yeah.
address in my GPS, and I'm stopped, I'm safe, the car's not moving, but I could still get a ticket. So I have to be covert.
Right. Ooh. Or she went to leave, but the door was locked for some reason. Oh, that sounds a little scary.
Well, that's happened to me when I've locked myself out of my car. It's like you think the car's unlocked, so you go to leave, and then the car's locked, and you're like, So luckily, hopefully that's happening to you when you're home and you just go find the keys and unlock the car. But this
Right.
is, I'm sure all of our listeners, this often, especially with older cars, that'll happen where I went to leave and the door was locked and I couldn't get into my car.
Right.
And then you have to call a locksmith to come and break into your car for you.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of it in a scarier way. Like she went to leave. I'm thinking of you're already inside someplace.
Oh, you're thinking you got abducted and someone
Yeah,
locked
like
you in a basement, Michelle? That went dark really fast. It could be. That's possible.
I don't know why.
Let's
No,
hope
okay, I
not.
wasn't. No, I don't know.
You've
Yeah,
been
like I'm
listening
thinking
to
of like
too
a
much
scary
true
movie.
crime.
A scary
Yes.
movie.
Okay,
Aubrey.
gotcha. Let's
Woo,
hope none of you are in that situation, but it could happen. Be ready. Make sure no one locks you in anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But if they do, you can say, you
Right?
can use this English.
I was
All right,
about
that's
to
not
leave,
funny.
and I was
Okay.
locked in. Okay, so we
So-
were about to leave. This is a little different. We do use these, but it's slight. It's a nuance. But so this focuses more on the timing. Something happened just before leaving. It's more neutral. It's a very subtle difference. This is slightly less vivid. It's still good for storytelling, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you were prevented, that something happened that stopped you from leaving. It's like we were about to
Yeah.
leave and we realized something, right? You weren't really prevented. Just something happened as you were about to leave.
Right. So for example, we were about to leave when it started raining. So I'm thinking, I was with my kids once in the car and we were trying to meet my husband at this event, but it was a terrible storm. And I kept on checking the forecast on my phone and it would say rain continuing for 10 minutes. And so I'd say, okay, let's just wait for 10 minutes. And then, you get to 7 minutes and it would say for 18 minutes, the rain is continuing.
4
And it
hours
just kept
later.
on getting... Right. And then there was one time where I thought, okay, it's done. And so we were about to leave when it started raining. So then it just started again and we never made it.
Oh, that's so funny. We're not going. It's raining.
No, yeah.
Or
it
I
sounds
was
like
about
we
to
don't
leave,
need to be
but
there.
my boss called me over. So maybe you're about to leave work, but then your boss is like, I just need to talk to you really quickly. And 2 hours later, no, it probably would be a quick conversation and then you'd be able to go.
Or they were about to leave when they realized they forgot their passports.
Ooh, I'm glad they
Okay, well,
realized
it sounds
before they
good.
left.
Exactly.
You don't want to realize that at the gate, at the security, when you go to show your
No.
passport to the security agents.
How far do you live from the airport, Aubrey?
30 minutes, a 30-minute drive, depending on
Yeah,
traffic.
I'm
It
about
could
the
be
same.
over an hour, depending on traffic.
Yeah, so you don't want to have to turn. I mean, every minute counts.
That's how
right?
you miss a flight.
Yeah,
I have to go back
Ooh,
for
no
my
fun.
passport. Double check the passports before you leave the house.
Yes.
Hey, quick question. Do you want to feel more confident when you speak English? If so, we made a free guide for you. It'll help you avoid those common mistakes and start speaking more naturally in real conversations. Go grab it in the description below. And if this is helpful for you, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're here 5 times a week to help you connect in English. All right, these phrases don't only have to be about leaving to go somewhere. They can be about any action that was about to to happen or got interrupted. So I went to call you, but my phone died. He went to take a sip of my coffee and it spilled all over my shirt. Or we went to unlock the door and the key snapped in half. That has happened to me before. It's terrible.
Really?
Because you can't get the little piece of metal out of the key. You have to replace the lock. The worst.
Oh, and that's expensive. So, and then there's was or were about to. So I was about to text you when you called. That can happen a lot, when it's like, oh, we were thinking of each other, right? Or I was about to fall asleep when my phone started ringing nonstop. That's
the worst. I wanted a nap.
Yeah.
Stop calling me.
Yes. Or she was about to cook dinner when the power went out. Ooh, that's no good.
No, right? I
all
guess we're
very
going out to
unfortunate.
eat, kids. I actually wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be that sad. I'm like, oh darn, the power's out. Let's go get pizza.
Yeah, right. And now I know you can get your pizza for free.
Exactly, right?
So,
we have,
yeah,
if
no
you guys
problem.
haven't heard this, my daughter won free pizza for a year, and we have been taking advantage. Every week we go and pick up our pizza. They know her
That's
by name.
amazing.
They're so cute. Her name's Georgia, but she goes by Gigi. And when she goes in, everyone there is like, Gigi, what's up? And if anyone's like a new employee, they're like, this is Gigi's art on the wall. They like show the art that won her free pizza for a year.
Cool.
She's like a celebrity there. It is so fun.
That is really fun.
It's awesome.
So, all right, let's do a role play. So here we are friends, and I called you to chat.
All right. Hey, I was just about to call you.
Oh, well, looks like I beat you to it. How's your morning going?
Stressful. I was about to leave the house and I couldn't find my keys anywhere.
Oh, no. I hate when that happens. What did you do?
Well, I went to call my mom for the replacement, but as the phone was ringing, I found them in my jacket pocket.
Classic. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, but it didn't end there. When I finally went to leave, the car wouldn't start.
Seriously? That's terrible.
Yeah, I ended up calling AAA and getting a jump start. And this is interesting. The one thing I had here, well, I went to call my mom for the replacement. What I would say, I would call, if I had to go to the dealership and get a new one made, I would call that a replacement. But if my mom has an extra set of keys, I would say, well, I went to call my mom for her set of keys or for a spare key is what I would say instead of a replacement.
Yeah. Good point.
Let's go through this role play. We used a bunch of these here. I first said, hey, I was just about to call you. Does that ever happen to you, Michelle, when you call someone and they're like, I was just about to call you, or I was just texting you. I was just typing a text to you. That happens to me a lot.
Yeah, I would say maybe mostly with my mom, but there are definitely friends who that happens with, but then it would probably more so be a text message. I was just about to text you.
Yeah, for sure. Because we don't call that much anymore. Same.
Yep. And then I said, oh, no. Then, I asked you, how is your morning going? And you said stressful. I was about to leave the house and I couldn't find my keys anywhere. Uh-oh.
I know. What is the weirdest place you have found your keys? Mine were in the fridge once. I couldn't find them anywhere. I think I had grabbed, I don't know, something out of the fridge and accidentally set them in there. Which seems
I've definitely
crazy.
found weird things in the fridge before. I don't know if
like a kid's toy. They like go to grab something and
yeah,
set their toy down.
exactly. I remember when my son was really little, he got this little car he was absolutely obsessed with because you know how
As
it goes
they are.
with little kids.
Because it's
So-
a fun car.
Yeah. So, and then I remember we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it anywhere. And then my mom was visiting. And of course, my mom is the one who ends up helping. It was just in an oven mitt.
In an oven mitt, like in the drawer where you put the oven mitts.
Yeah. And then inside
And
the
inside.
actual mitt. Yes.
That is
yes.
really funny. But your mom found it when she went to cook or something?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
And
so
then I
funny.
made a rule. I remember, I would say that I don't want my kids to have any toys that are smaller than the palm of my hand. You know, just like only bigger toys that I can see.
Nothing
it's
that
too
can
hard
fit
with the little
in
ones.
an oven mitt.
Yes, exactly.
That's so funny. Okay, so then you said, yeah, I went to call my mom, and I'd say for the spare key. I went to call my mom for her spare key.
I think you said that. Yeah.
And then when I finally went to leave, the car wouldn't start. So this is really interesting. These are subtly different. It's really about whether you were stopped in being able to leave or not, or if something was just happening as you were leaving.
Yeah, definitely. So really interesting stuff there. Guys, head on over to episode 2653. That was when fishy and cheesy aren't about food.
That was so funny.
Takeaways. Yeah, we had a good time with that one.
And it was a 2-part series with all of these words: fishy, cheesy, nutty, all these words that seem like they would be about food, but they're idioms, and we use them in these other ways. So go check that out if you missed it.
Super fun. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening today. Thank you again to Sophia for that question, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.